What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Volks TV. Project time again. We're back on the bus this time, doing some exciting things. You saw a few episodes ago when we started getting all the cooling stuff together, the fans and the tins and all that stuff. We're still doing that. I'm still waiting on a couple parts to complete that part of it, and then we're going to pull this motor out. But for right now, we're going to focus on getting the carbs tuned perfectly for that motor. The way that we're going to do that is we called up our pals over at the Kaddie Shack. We told them what we had in that motor, cam-wise, and you know, it's basically a stock 1600. When I got those carbs, I just kind of got them from somebody and cleaned them up and just threw them in there. I didn't really check the jets to make sure they were right. I just kind of went with it. And it runs pretty good. It runs pretty good, but it runs a little hot. And I think part of it is it's just not jetted correctly for my motor. It might be too big and it's adjusted wrong, or you know, who knows. So you call Kaddie Shack, you tell them what's in your motor, and they send you jets. They scrub the numbers off so you don't get to know what size jets they are, because they have a super secret formula. But it's okay by me, because if they're the right jets and they work with my motor, whatever, you know, good enough for me. We also went ahead and got the horsepower kit, which moves the bracket up for the air filter. This is supposed to allow better breathing. It's going to let more air in, I guess, or more smoother air. They say you gain a couple horsepower just by doing it. The carbs are already going to be off and apart, so we might as well just go ahead and put this on. I got their linkage as well, the Heim joint linkage. I don't think I'm going to get that on today, just because there's more stuff we have to pull off. And we're going to have to pull it off again later to do the tins. And I don't want to pull it off twice. So when we do the cooling system, we'll go ahead and throw their Heim joint linkage on there. And then we'll have the best of the best as far as caddies go. So there we go. We'll get over there. We're going to pull those things off the motor. We'll get them on the cart here, and we'll tear into them and hopefully get some better performance out of our caddies. We got one off. We got a little bit of blood on our hands, but that's okay. It's going to happen from time to time. So this is actually super easy to do. You only need a couple tools, a couple screwdrivers, one a little bit wider than the other, and a pair of vice grips. Super simple. Basically, these that hold the air cleaner base in, or the air cleaner stud, that's like a one-way bolt. So from the factory, they put those in nice and tight, and then once they get tight, the little head snaps off, and there you go, you're stuck. I always thought that it was like riveted in and you couldn't get them off. Then I had a set not too long ago that it was super loose, and I was looking online, and actually the Kaddie Shack website, they told me, grab that with a pair of vice grips, or cut a slot into it, or cut it off with the grinder, and then just twist it out and unscrew it, you know, and it's about that long. And those will come out, and the new kit goes in there, and then you use the flathead screwdriver to pull the top off. It's good to replace the gasket. I know my gaskets are pretty good shape. I got some extra ones in here just in case if I need to replace them, but that's it. And then you just unscrew the jets and screw them right back in, put it back together, put it right back on the bus. Easy money. So let's zoom that in here. I'll get you guys a real good angle on what I'm doing, and then we'll just do it. Alright, so I'm going to take the base off first. See, mine's already kind of loose. Sometimes they just get that way over time. But really, you just got to try and grab a hold of that thing. Got to hold it kind of tight, because it's just round. It doesn't have a flat part. And then you just unscrew them. Go. Alright, next we're going to pop the top off. So we got 6 flathead screws. This is so that we can get to the main jet. They're inside the bowl. And the other one's actually on the outside. Don't lose the little washers. You want to be careful because that's going to be full of gas. You don't necessarily have to dump it out, but you definitely don't want to spill it. I'm going to end up spilling it, I know it. Alright, then we take our little, not even in the frame, take the little screwdriver carefully, without breaking it, and without losing it. Take the little dog bone out, and we take our little float out. Don't lose the dog bone. And then I'm gonna dump this out. Alright, we dumped that into the lawnmower, so we didn't waste it. Take our little bit bigger screwdriver here. So right down inside the bowl, you'll see it down there is the jet. So you take your slightly larger screwdriver so that it doesn't slip. Just unscrew that little guy. Come on now. Got him. Alright, so we get a idle jet and a main jet here. This is tricky. Oh. Kind of got to do it by feel. Once you get her going, and you want to put it in there and just snug. Doesn't have to be super tight, just snug. Then we make sure our pivot's good. Drop that float right down in there. The dog bone goes, you know, waka waka, like on the side. Should just pop in there. Just like that. And we're gonna keep this jet. That's a 130, so whatever that means, size-wise. Otherwise, this thing looks pretty good inside. My gasket, you know, it's dry, it's in good shape, it's not torn. So I'm gonna go ahead and reuse that. Just pop that there. Not too tight. Just snug. I do it like a wheel. I kind of go around. Make sure you got all 6 of them. Snug. Bingo. Right there on the side is your idle jet, and that we use a number 8mm there. Again, it shouldn't be super tight. We got the new one, which who knows what it is, but the old one's 55. You want to make sure too that it has the ball in there. There's a little check ball. Just snug, not tight. And that's that. Now we put in our fancy horsepower kit. Want to make sure too the little washers, these little star washers need to be on top. And they make these with Phillips, so it's a lot easier than trying to take off a rounded bolt. Get that snug. Just like that. 5 horsepower. Well, I guess I should have read the instructions first. Once you get the carb in there, you put in 1 screw, then you put the bottom on. Otherwise, it doesn't fit past the head of the screw. So that's a little tricky. So you learned it here first, folks. Then you put this little guy in there. And you put this little guy in there. Again, making sure that the star washer is on top of the little brace. And we get them tight. Now if you have different style filters, if you have the later ones, you don't have to do that. You know, it may fit over there. That's a whole different kind of a kit there. But I've got the early style with the mesh on them. My filters are in there, and I recently cleaned them after a trip, so probably they're okay. Then you put that on there, and these are sort of concentric, meaning when you turn them, they angle at different directions. So you want to make sure you get it fully on the base. Then they give you a little rubber washer to prevent air leaks, and then a metal washer, and then a wing nut to replace the little 13 millimeter that we took off. Snug. Make sure that doesn't move around on you. Good to go. And we'll pop our linkage on. Get on there, you. There it goes. Alright, driver's side done. I'm gonna go knock out the passenger side real quick, and then we'll come back and wrap it up. Alright, there we go. New jets. Horsepower kit for the filters. Still cracks me up that they call it that. But I guess it adds horsepower, so, you know, why not call it what it is? Once you get those things on there and you get everything assembled on there and it's nice and tight, you kind of check it and make sure your gaskets are set up correctly. You're going to have to retune the carbs, you know, because now you have different jets in there, so you got to reset your idle, you got to reset your, you know, your fuel mixture. That's the one right there, fuel mixture. You got to set everything back up. Probably you don't have to reset your linkage because I don't think it's going to move that much, but it is a possibility. It's a little bit late right now, so I'm not going to start the bus and warm it up and try to tune those carbs, but if you look up here somewhere, there's going to be a link to a video. Shows you how to set up those CADs. It's super easy. You know, once the engine's warm, it's like 10 minutes to get those things perfectly dialed in, so a job for another day. We're going to keep the old parts in the bags, and we're going to snap those back together with some staples like they were and put them in the carb parts drawer down here. Just in case we get a set of CADs later that doesn't have any of this hardware or is missing jets, we know that these jets worked on a 1600. I mean, at least it ran. Might not be the perfect ones, but maybe they are. I don't know. They took the numbers off, so who knows. So we're going to keep those and never throw away good parts. We'll clean them up later and put them on a different set of carbs. That's pretty much it for this week. Hands are clean-ish. Get you a shirt down at the link below. Subscribe, share it, tell a friend, tell everybody. Leave us a comment. If you've got questions, you know, I answer all the comments down there. And visit all the friends at all the places. Hit us at oldvolkstv.com. Thanks for watching.